my own personal journey is so deeply connected to the work I do today. So I grew up in New York City and in Puerto Rico. I'm the daughter of immigrants. My mother's Puerto Rican, my father is Chinese. And I, saw them both try to use I use the tool of education, right, to uplift our own family and move us out of poverty. So I grew up in public housing in New York, in a very poor family in Puerto Rico. My parents divorced when I was about 11. So my mother raised me with my brother, as a single parent. And the one thing that, I have one experience I often talk about is that, we had at that time when I was about a teenager, uh, lots of public benefits that we were on. So think about the role of government today, right? Where this is like a deep discussion around what should government do? How should it create safety nets for people? So we had all those safety nets, and yet it wasn't enough, right? And oftentimes those safety nets, whether it's public housing, food stamps, other resources, subsidized healthcare, they're viewed as handouts, right, to people who are poor, versus, opportunities to put them in a more secure position so that they then can become, thriving individuals in society. So my mom used to take me to a lot of the social services offices, and I had to translate for her because she spoke mostly Spanish. And there was never an experience where we were, treated as I would say, we were often treated as, subhuman, where it looked like, we were just taking advantage of a system. And rather than folks that are trying to, get by with hard work. And so I often have these memories of these services not working for us and being used as pawns, right, for what you see right now, right, as people trying to take advantage of handouts. But honestly, a lot of that, the early experiences are what made me believe in education as a pathway. My mom stressed that the way you're going to, make something of yourself is by going to school, going to college. She didn't know how to get me there, but I did work towards that. And I'll say I was very lucky because I got scholarships to go to college. I was the first to go to college in my family. I then went on to law school and business school. And again, first, right, in my family to do that. And because I was able to get so much support, right, from my community, from mentors, I wanted to pay it forward. And a lot of the work I do now is to help bring people up along with me, right? Whether it's women in the law, I started my career in the law early on, or entrepreneurs, because I saw so many in my family, right? Try to use entrepreneurship again as a way to not even build wealth, just to, have a life that I felt like I needed to give back in that way. So a lot of this, work is also framed by having lived through these experiences, but also understanding the cultural nuances, right, that are in our communities. Um, the other experience I had, why I got even into impact investing at all, because I was not focused on the economy or economics. It was not my thing in college. Was I remember I had a professor who said to me, Betty, the way that you're going to make transformative change is actually not through law or the things that you want to study, but it's through creating jobs. It's starting a business, right? Becoming an entrepreneur, supporting entrepreneurs, because that is the way that you uplift communities. And I never forgot that. And so when I was able to begin supporting beyond myself, right, supporting small businesses, I remember that experience and that lesson of you should be supporting entrepreneurship because that is what can create some transformative change.